Hello, this is Reverend Dore, Jacques Patlian, teaching religious science, which is the science of mind. So it's based on the perennial philosophy that goes all the way back to Plato and is the essence of original Christianity. Today, we're going to talk about living in the age of Aquarius. If you remember last time, we talked about the dawning of the age of Aquarius and that we're going through a time of huge change. We're about to have a quantum leap in human society, probably within the next 100 years, maybe within the next 50. What will it look like when we do get to that quantum leap? Before we say that, I want to say that a lot of people think this is the worst of times we live in. Any historian can tell you that this is actually the best condition the planet has ever been in human history. Doesn't that seem strange when we have people murdered and just for going to work in the morning at a naval yard and children shot in a schoolhouse? Those are terrible things. But things so much worse were happening before, like 21 million killed in World War II and whole generations wiped out in World War I and 100 years of war in Europe in the 1400s. I mean, things in the past, we can't even come close today. We're actually in pretty good shape today, but we have so much further to go. We have most of the planet living under some form of democracy. We have universal suffrage in most countries. We have the poorest countries that were always on the dole and needing help are now wealthy powers who are exporting food. I'm thinking of India and China particularly. When I was a kid, they were always starving in India and China. Today, not only are they not starving, they're getting rich and they're exporting food. What a change we've made. What will it be like in 2099? What I see is a world where fundamental changes in how we view life have taken place. In 2099, we're going to understand that every problem has a solution. There's nothing that can't be improved or healed. Not only will we understand it, but we'll have the will to do it. We now will understand the basic truth that everything that exists begins in a mind, either God's or one of ours, and that things only change when minds change and not before. We now understand that to solve a problem, you must identify and heal the cause of the problem. In 2099, we're going to understand you can ignore the apparent effects because they're going to go away when you get to the cause. They disappear. Poof, gone. It seems that fiddling with effects is all we ever do now. We seldom, if ever, get to the root or the cause of the problem. I don't think we even look for it most of the time. You want to fix the schools? Here's what we do now. We just give them more money. Well, if money was going to solve the schools, that had been done a long time ago. I mean, duh. You get sick? Let's take a drug or cut out the diseased organ. In fact, let's take a lot of drugs. That's what we do today. I've got friends of mine who take 40 pills a day. I take half a pill a day myself, and that's only because the doctor said I had to because I had high blood pressure. We have inequality or poverty. Let's make war on it and spend billions and billions. We have an economic downturn. Let's get the government to fix it with spending and taxes. And these are not bad ideas. The problem is they don't work. Let's declare war on drugs. We did that about the same time we declared war on poverty. We have more people living below the poverty line today than we did in 1964 when we declared war on poverty. We have 20% more drug users today than we had in 1965 when we declared war on drugs. We declare war on a lot of things in the U.S., don't we? And, I might add, 50% of all prisoners in America are there on drug-related charges. If we just said, okay, guys, sin no more, get out of here, you're only here for drug charges, see ya, we could empty the prisons practically. We're fiddling with the effects. You want to go after drugs? Cut off the demand. No demand, no cartels, no drug dealers. You don't sell something for which there's no demand. That's basic economics. You can arrest all the drug dealers you want. There'll just be more tomorrow. You see what I mean? You go for the cause. You go for the cause. Poverty. Why are people poor? They're poor because they're poor in their mind. They think poor. They talk poor. They believe in poverty. I have people I know who believe in poverty. Oh, I could never do that. It's a hard road for me. More people like us, we work hard and we don't take any shortcuts. And boy, it's just a hard road for us. Well, okay, welcome to the hard road then. You get what you put out in life. That's a basic law of the universe. You want to fix poverty? Change people's minds. You can cure it within 5 years if you did. It sounds simple, but it's true. Despite our best efforts, all the things we've tried to do with declaring war on things and throwing money at them have not worked. Not one of them. The problem's still there. What happens in 2099? In 2099, we stop fiddling with effects, number one. Here's what we do in medicine. If you're ill, you go to an integrated medical spiritual center where your physical illness will be diagnosed first and the symptoms alleviated so you're not in terrible pain. Then they will work on your mind and spirit. Now, by spirit, I don't mean religion. I mean the human spirit, the mind, which is a symptom of that spirit. The physical symptoms are relieved, so you're feeling better. But then you'll be healed because they'll find the cause within your mind and spirit that is causing you to be sick. Because your body doesn't get sick on its own. The mind controls the body. You say there are germs. Yes, there are. There are germs, thousands of them around you right now where you're sitting. Why aren't you sick? Because your autoimmune system fights them off. You get the best army in the world right within you. But what happens if you're depressed or angry or sad or full of grief or just don't feel well? Your autoimmune system goes down and allows them to get over the walls. And then you get sick. That's how it works. In 2099, we're going to go after causes, not effects. So you won't have people taking 30 to 40 prescription drugs a day. You won't have people being poisoned in order to cure them. We call that chemotherapy. And I think sometimes the cure is worse than the disease. We'll actually cure cancer by getting to the cause, which is anger, sorrow, bitterness, or grief, long held in the mind and spirit, that cause the body to turn against itself in the first place. That's what cancer is, you know. Perfectly normal cells turning against themselves and becoming cancer cells. It's the body at war with itself. It's not something from the outside. Today, people often have one cancer cured only to develop another one. But that won't happen in the future. Why not? Because we got to the cause and removed it. Today, we never address the cause, so cancers often come back. What will business be like? Well, in 2099, business will be conducted on a win-win principle, as will politics and diplomacy. Won't that be nice? It means Congress will actually get something done. That no agreement will be legally valid unless both parties are satisfied and feel that they've been treated ethically and fairly, and they'll have to sign to that effect without duress. If you felt like you got beaten in a negotiation, contract is null and void. Compromise is going to have to be the engine of this system. We have to understand that nobody gets 100% in any fair negotiation. And what we want to do is to get what we need and make sure the other fella gets his. There's going to be a give and take. That's what's missing today in our political system, isn't it? We used to understand that. I don't know why we don't now. In 2099, business and politics, both, I win and you win, and we part friends ready to do business again. All businesses will be expected to profit, but none of them will be able to be predatory. The day of the Shark Tank will be gone. Business will become the leader in social responsibility and philanthropy, as many of them are today. You would not believe how many of our major philanthropic efforts are funded by great corporations, and sometimes small ones. In the coming age, it will not be a nicety or a public relations necessity, but a social necessity for any company wishing to do business in this new age. Now, education is going to change a lot too, because education will be viewed as furnishing the mind, not merely training for a job. There's a big difference between education and training. They're two totally different things. It can train a monkey to do something. That doesn't mean you educated him. Knowledge of history, economics, government, and cultural geography will be understood as being as vital as math and science. We're going to live in a global world. A citizen in a democracy has got to know how a democracy works, how free enterprise works, how the world works. A citizen of the world must know about the life and culture of his brothers and sisters around the world. A well-furnished mind, an educated person, can always find good employment. Even when the old skills fade away and they have to learn new ones, they can do it very quickly because they know a broad range of things, and they can deal with any kind of person or culture. They not only know where Mumbai is, they probably have been there and probably speak Hindi as well. The educated person in the future will be an international person. What will the real underlying change be? The real change will be in how we understand and relate to each other. We'll finally understand that each human is our literal brother and sister. No matter what ceremony or dogma we may prefer in our worship life, we'll understand there's one power and presence in the universe and that we are its expressions. We'll toss away the great lie of separation and finally embrace oneness. With this embrace will come a fine new world of true freedom, plenty, peace, and true prosperity. All as a result of spiritual and emotional maturity finally being achieved on this planet. It's coming, my friends. Nothing can stop it now. The critical mass is beginning as I record this podcast. The only question is, and this is a big question, will it come as a lover wrapping us in its soft embrace? Or will it come as a hurricane sweeping away the old and thereby mandating the building of a new world? Now we can choose it peacefully and have it come as a lover, or we can be forced into it, but it's going to come. Are you ready? I can't wait. I'm probably too old to see its full fruition. I'm an old dog of 68, so chances are pretty good I may see the beginnings, but I'll never see the end. But I'll be watching it unfold in my next experience and cheering it on. Until we're together again, know that you are beloved of God, that you are magnificent, and that you have the power of the universe at your disposal. Now, to learn how to use this power, log on to csl.org, that's csl.org, and learn more about religious science, which is the teaching of the science of mind. Find the nearest center for spiritual living, that's what we call our churches, and come to a Sunday celebration or sign up for a class. Many people who do feel like they finally come home. This is Reverend Dore Jacques Patlian saying bye-bye for now. Why don't you subscribe to my website and the podcast and never miss a post or a podcast? Thank you for listening. Bye-bye for now.